Hi there. If you're standing in your kitchen right now, or anywhere in your home, looking at your flooring and thinking it needs a serious upgrade, I want to show you something that might completely change your renovation budget. You're looking at possibly spending anywhere between $9,000 and $18,000 on a beautiful hardwood floor installation for a 500 square foot space. Or you could get something that looks nearly identical, performs significantly better in most homes, and costs around $3,000 to $6,000. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between doing this renovation now or waiting another 3 years. Today I'm going to break down how contractor quotes may be showing you inflated hardwood prices, and where you're actually going to save the most money if you're smart about your choices. Let me start with the reality of hardwood flooring that nobody wants to talk about. When you call a contractor or go to a flooring showroom and ask about solid hardwood installation, those prices they quote you, they're not exaggerating. A solid hardwood floor genuinely does cost between $8 and $22 per square foot for the material alone. That's before installation. That's before underlayment. That's before you remove your old flooring. For mid-range solid hardwood that looks genuinely nice, you're looking at around $10 to $14 per square foot for the material. Then comes installation labor, and here's where it gets expensive. Hardwood installation isn't just about laying down planks. Installers need to acclimate the wood to your home's humidity for several days before installation. They need to work carefully because these planks are expensive and mistakes are costly. The installation labor for solid hardwood runs $7 to $12 per square foot in most markets, though it can go higher. That's not including the underlayment, which adds another $1 or so per square foot. And if your subfloor needs preparation, which most homes do, you're adding anywhere from $1 to $6 per square foot depending on how much work is needed. Let's do the actual math for a real 500 square foot kitchen. With mid-range hardwood at $12 per square foot, you're looking at $6,000 just for the material. Add in installation labor at $9 per square foot, that's $4,500. Add underlayment, maybe $500. Subfloor preparation if needed, another $2,000 to be safe. You're already at $13,500, and that's before removing your old flooring, which could be another $1,000 to $2,000. Now you're hovering around $15,000. Some contractors will throw in finishing touches and markup, pushing you toward $18,000 or even higher. And here's something most people don't realize. That's just the beginning of the hardwood journey. Hardwood is beautiful. Nobody's arguing that. The authentic grain patterns, the color variations, the way it feels underfoot, the way it develops a patina over time, these are genuine luxuries. But here's the problem with luxury. It requires maintenance. Hardwood floors need to be refinished every 10 to 15 years, depending on foot traffic. Refinishing isn't cheap. You're looking at $3 to $8 per square foot. For that 500 square foot space, that's $1,500 to $4,000 every decade. If you own your home for 30 years, you're refinishing that floor potentially 3 times. That's $4,500 to $12,000 in refinishing costs alone, right there on top of your initial investment. Then there's the water damage concern. This is where hardwood stops being elegant and starts becoming a liability in many homes. Hardwood floors and water do not get along. A small spill left too long, a pipe leak, even high humidity in a bathroom can cause hardwood to buckle, warp, or stain permanently. Water damage repair on hardwood floors costs between $10 and $80 per square foot, depending on severity. That 500 square foot kitchen with water damage could cost $5,000 to $40,000 to repair. Some homeowners have had to completely replace their hardwood floors due to water damage. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this because it's the real picture of hardwood ownership. It's beautiful, but it's demanding and expensive to maintain. Luxury vinyl plank, which we call LVP, is not the vinyl flooring your grandmother had in her kitchen in the 1970s. Modern LVP has evolved dramatically over the past 5 years. The technology is now genuinely impressive. Current luxury vinyl uses something called embossed-in register technology, which sounds complicated but basically means the texture is perfectly aligned with the wood grain pattern underneath it. When you look at a high-quality luxury vinyl plank from 2 feet away, you genuinely cannot tell the difference from actual hardwood without touching it. And the touch is where they get you. The best luxury vinyl planks now have hand-scraped textures that mimic real distressed wood. They have subtle color variations that wood naturally has. Some planks even have knots and growth rings printed with 3-dimensional visual depth that's honestly shocking. Big brands have invested millions in making their luxury vinyl look real. And they succeeded. Walk into a high-end home in 2026, and more than half of them that look like they have hardwood floors actually have luxury vinyl. Homeowners and even other contractors are fooled regularly. The colors available now span every wood species you could want. Light oak, dark walnut, reclaimed wood appearance, modern gray, bleached white oak. And they're not just visually similar. Many of these planks come in widths up to 12 inches or even wider, mimicking the popular wide plank hardwood trend that costs even more money. So what does this LVP actually cost? Material costs for quality luxury vinyl run $3 to $9 per square foot, depending on the brand and style. That's $3 to $9, compared to $10 to $22 for hardwood. Installation labor for LVP is straightforward, $2 to $5 per square foot, because it's click-lock or glue-down installation that doesn't require the specialized skills and equipment of hardwood installation. The total installed cost for a nice luxury vinyl plank, including underlayment and materials, is typically $5 to $9 per square foot. Some premium brands push toward $10 or $12 per square foot, but you're generally not exceeding that. Let's do that math for our 500 square foot kitchen again. Mid-quality luxury vinyl at $7 per square foot for materials is $3,500. Installation labor at $3 per square foot is $1,500. Add underlayment and supplies, maybe $400. Subfloor preparation if needed, which is usually minimal for vinyl, maybe $500. You're at about $5,000 total. That's 70% less than hardwood. That's not a rounding error. That's real money you keep in your pocket. But the real magic happens after installation, because this is where the math becomes absolutely overwhelming in vinyl's favor. Luxury vinyl doesn't need refinishing. Not ever. It won't happen. That 10 to 15-year refinishing cycle that costs thousands of dollars doesn't exist for vinyl. You just clean it. Regular sweeping and occasional mopping with standard floor cleaner, and your vinyl looks the same in 10 years as it does on day one. There's no special vinyl cleaner required, no maintenance schedule, and no planned expense down the road. You sweep and mop. That's it. And water damage? Luxury vinyl is completely waterproof. A pipe can burst directly under your vinyl floor, water can pool for days, and your vinyl will be fine. This makes it genuinely perfect for kitchens, bathrooms, basements, laundry rooms, and anywhere near exterior doors where water exposure happens. This is where vinyl saves money that hardwood would hemorrhage. If you have water damage under hardwood, you're replacing it or dealing with extensive repair costs. Here's another thing about vinyl that most people don't consider. Durability against surface damage. Hardwood scratches. Dogs scratch it. Kids scratch it. Furniture legs scratch it. High heels scratch it. Moving something across it scratches it. For some people, this adds character and patina. For others, it's infuriating. Luxury vinyl is remarkably scratch-resistant. The top layer is designed to withstand pet claws, furniture movement, and heavy foot traffic. Testing shows quality LVP handles scratching and impact resistance better than hardwood. For families with pets or children, this alone saves you significant money and stress. Now let's talk about the resale value question, because this is where people get confused. Does hardwood add more value to your home than vinyl? The answer is complicated, and honestly, it depends on several factors. In some markets, in some price ranges, hardwood still commands a premium. If you're selling a luxury home valued above $400,000, hardwood might add 3 to 5% to your home value. But in the average home market, the situation is different. Luxury vinyl that looks modern and is installed well can add to your home value. Studies show LVP can yield a 70 to 80% return on investment when selling your home. That means if you spend $5,000 on LVP flooring, you might recover $3,500 to $4,000 of that when you sell. Hardwood can yield a higher percentage return, potentially up to 80%. But consider what you're investing. You spent $15,000 on hardwood. An 80% return means you recover $12,000 when you sell. But your vinyl investment returned $3,500 on $5,000 spent. You actually came out ahead with the vinyl in terms of pure cost. Plus, you didn't have the maintenance costs. You didn't have the refinishing expenses. And if you had a water issue, you didn't face a $10,000 repair bill. The total financial picture often favors vinyl significantly. There's also the practical reality that vinyl flooring is now so accepted and desirable that homebuyers in most markets don't see it as a negative. Younger homeowners actively prefer it for practical reasons. They understand water resistance, durability, and low maintenance. They're not as hung up on the idea that real hardwood is better. The market is shifting, and vinyl is winning in terms of what people actually want to live with. Let me break down the hybrid approach that I think is the smartest strategy for most homeowners. You don't have to choose one flooring type for your entire home. In fact, mixing them strategically can give you the best of both worlds. Put the vinyl in your kitchen, bathrooms, and anywhere with water exposure. Put hardwood or a high-end engineered hardwood in your living room and master bedroom, where water isn't a concern, and that traditional aesthetic might matter more. Now your total investment is more moderate than going all hardwood. You have water-resistant flooring where you need it. You have that luxury aesthetic in the spaces that matter for resale value, and you have flexibility. For a 500 square foot kitchen with all vinyl, you're around $5,000. If your living room is also 500 square feet, and you go with nice engineered hardwood for slightly less than solid hardwood, that might run $8,000 installed. That's $13,000 total for 2,000 square feet of flooring, instead of $30,000 or more if you went all solid hardwood. You've cut the cost roughly in half, and you've created a smarter layout for functionality. There's also timing to consider. Flooring goes on sale. Memorial Day, Labor Day, Black Friday, these are all peak flooring sale seasons. You can often get discounts of 20 to 30% if you're patient. That $5,000 vinyl job might drop to $3,500 to $4,000 if you time it right. Hardwood is less likely to have dramatic sales, but contractors do offer seasonal discounts on labor. If you're flexible on timing, you can shave off significant costs. The installation process itself has another money-saving opportunity. If your subfloor is in good condition, vinyl installation is fast. A professional can install vinyl in a 500 square foot space in 1 to 2 days. That means you're out of your kitchen for a short period. Hardwood takes longer, sometimes 3 to 5 days depending on the space and finishing requirements. That longer installation time matters for stress and inconvenience, even if the labor is already accounted for in the quote. Let me address the elephant in the room, the feel and authenticity question. Hardwood sounds different when you walk on it. It feels warmer under your feet. It smells like wood. These are genuine sensory differences. If these sensory qualities matter to you, then the money difference might be worth it to you, and that's valid. Luxury vinyl with good underlayment actually dampens sound better than many hardwood installations, but it does have a slightly different acoustic signature. The feel under your feet is different. It's not cold, but it's not quite the same thermal feel as wood. And the smell of new wood is something artificial materials can't replicate. If you're someone who deeply values these sensory experiences, no amount of savings might justify vinyl for you. But if you're making this decision purely on practical and financial grounds, vinyl wins decisively. The 5 to 10-year cost of ownership for vinyl is substantially less than hardwood. The maintenance burden is dramatically lighter. The risk of expensive damage from water is virtually eliminated. The durability against scratches and dents is superior. And the ability to replace a damaged plank or section is easier and cheaper with vinyl. One thing to watch out for: there's a big difference between budget vinyl and quality vinyl. The cheapest vinyl flooring out there is genuinely cheap. It can feel thin and hollow. The texture doesn't look realistic. It's thin enough that impacts feel different. If you're going to invest in vinyl, spend enough to get quality. Aim for planks that are at least 4 millimeters thick with a wear layer of at least 12 mils. Look for brands that specifically market themselves as luxury vinyl with realistic textures. You'll spend a bit more upfront, but the difference is noticeable, and it justifies the price. The other consideration is installation quality. Vinyl is forgiving compared to hardwood, but a poor installation still shows. Subfloor needs to be clean and relatively level. Underlayment should be installed correctly. Planks should be clicked together properly. Transitions and trim should be finished well. This is where hiring a professional matters. DIY vinyl installation is possible if you're handy, but it's still a job that benefits from experience. Let's do one final cost comparison for the total picture. You buy your home or you're renovating your current home. Your 500 square foot kitchen needs flooring. Scenario 1. All quality hardwood. Material cost $12 per square foot. Labor $9 per square foot. Underlayment and supplies $2 per square foot. Total installed cost $9,250. Over 30 years, you refinish 3 times at $3,500 per refinish, adding $10,500. You potentially face some water damage repair costs if anything goes wrong, let's say you're lucky, and avoid that. Your 30-year hardwood cost is about $19,750. You're selling your home and recovering 80% of the installation cost, or $7,400. Your net cost after accounting for recovery, $12,350. Scenario 2. Quality luxury vinyl. Material costs $7 per square foot. Labor $3 per square foot. Underlayment and supplies $1 per square foot. Total installed cost, $5,500. Over 30 years, you don't refinish. You don't face water damage. You maintain it with regular cleaning, no special costs. You potentially need to replace worn planks after 15 or 20 years in high-traffic areas, maybe $500 to $1,000. Your 30-year luxury vinyl cost is about $6,000 to $6,500. You're selling your home and recovering 70% of the installation cost, or about $3,850. Your net cost after accounting for recovery, about $2,500. The difference between Scenario 1 and Scenario 2 is nearly $10,000 in real out-of-pocket costs over 30 years. That's not an exaggeration. That's actual money left in your checking account if you choose vinyl, and that's assuming your hardwood avoids water damage. If it doesn't, the hardwood scenario gets much worse. So what's my actual recommendation? If you're in a luxury home, and hardwood is genuinely part of the aesthetic that justifies premium pricing, okay, go with hardwood in key spaces. If you have unlimited budget, and the sensory experience of real wood matters to you, fine. But if you're like most homeowners trying to maximize the value of your renovation budget, if you have water-prone areas in your home, if you have pets, if you have kids, if you value your time and don't want ongoing maintenance, luxury vinyl is the intelligent choice. It looks remarkable. It performs dramatically better in most real-world conditions. It costs 70% less. It saves you thousands in maintenance over the life of the flooring. And the resale value impact is comparable or sometimes better when you factor in the total cost. The renovation industry has benefited from homeowners feeling like hardwood is the premium choice and vinyl is the budget option. That was true 10 years ago. It's not true anymore. That technology has changed. The market has changed. And most importantly, the numbers have changed dramatically in vinyl's favor. If you're planning a flooring renovation, I want you to look at those contractor quotes for hardwood with different eyes now. Look at the labor costs. Look at the material costs. Then go look at quality luxury vinyl planks. See them in person. Look at the brands with embossed and register technology. Walk on them. Feel them. And then do the math. When you do, I think you're going to see exactly why so many homeowners are making the switch to luxury vinyl and keeping thousands of dollars in their renovation budget for other upgrades. Whether that's a new kitchen island, upgraded appliances, professional design services, or simply having money left over after the renovation is done. That's the power of understanding the real choice between hardwood and luxury vinyl in 2026. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to leave a comment if there is a topic you want me to go over. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.